think I'm done with the front of this book cover, and I want to try and add this paper bag inside like that and just sew around. I also wanted to embellish with a crocheted flower, but first I want to paint this bag just around the edges and then also the whole inside of it. So let's do that. Okay, I just grabbed a cinnamon brown and I need a paper to kind of go around so I don't mess up my desk. Yeah, okay. I picked up this acrylic paint from Crafter's Square at Dollar Tree, and although I really like the color, there's no pigment in here. I was not impressed. But what I did find about this was it didn't dry as quickly as I wanted it to, but I didn't throw it out. And although it's a beautiful blue, you really don't see anything in it. It comes out almost clear. But I thought it would work well on here, mixing it to act as an acrylic retarder, like, I don't know what that stuff is called, to stop your paint from drying quickly. So look, I've mixed it up. It's still brown. There's no blue in there at all. Now let's see what it'll look like when I add some paint. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Another thing that is good with it is, I can't think today. Oh, right. I wanted to add some shine to the paint because these cheap paints are very matte. They're too matte for me. They're just like too dry. So this is just a test on camera. I did not do any of this before I turned the camera on. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I think that might be working. Let's turn this around. I'm running out of room, like usual. So it's Friday noon and I have a little ham in the oven. I picked that up this week and I don't want to cook every single meal all weekend, so I like to make one standard, like a roast or some chicken, and then I add to that. I'll open up some canned beans that I made from my garden, or some garden carrots, or have a salad. But I like that, just one staple of a protein to consume for the weekend, because it's just me. I don't have to cook. I don't have to cook for kids. I had a nice sleep in today, and although I had plans to vacuum, that fell by the wayside. And here I am because the older I get, I'm putting my priorities, I'm setting my priorities, right? I want to play in my craft room. I also want to work out and walk and stuff like that, but when it comes to, you know, cleaning house all day, that's just not me anymore. It's just not me. This is what's fun. And I sure hope that one day when I'm in the nursing home, they have a craft room. Because I'm not going to be sitting in my room all day. I'll probably rip up the sheets and make a junk journal out of it. Oh boy. Okay. I'm pretty happy with this. Let's see. Yep, I like that. Let's put a bit more, because I do want to do the inside. Oops, a little bit of that. It's a little too much. And of course I don't have any rags. When I say I'm doing this on the fly, I mean it, because I don't really plan when I turn the camera on. I want to be my true authentic self, and if I screw up, I screw up. Look at that. Blue added to it and it's still brown. So that shows that this has no pigment in it. But I'm not letting it go to waste. Like I said, I am going to use it to add to the paint, an existing paint color. I only have to go in about, you know, an inch. I didn't have to go in this far, but I'm kind of testing the paint to see if this is going to be what I like. And it is taking a little longer to dry, which I'm happy with. This will be good when I'm actually painting on canvas. I could add just a little drop of that to my good paint instead of a retarder. And just a little bit more here. And then we'll let it dry and then move on to the inside. So while that thing is drying, I'm going to use the rest of the paint to cover this envelope that I got in the mail. I've never done this before. Usually I just use watercolor, but I'm going to try, see what happens. I don't want to waste the paint. See if this comes off. Yep. Nice. Go over it a second time. For a cheap paint, I'm getting pretty good coverage with 2 coats. I'm happy with it. It's not something I would use for my canvas paintings, but it sure works well with crafting. Let's wipe that off a bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's just for a junk journal. So let's let that dry, and I've got another envelope here, another brown one. And put that in front of the heater, and then I don't have any scrap paper because I put everything away. Every time I clean up, it winds up too clean. I can't find anything. So this is good. Okay, let's just do this here. I can always cover it with a different color. I just want to get rid of the paint for now. Okay, running out of paint. That's okay, I'll be mixing some more for the next step, for the cover of the journal. So I'll let this dry, and we'll see how the other piece is doing. So the 2 envelopes have dried, and I was playing on this one. I didn't finish the brown, but I was playing on this with a white gel pen. And I thought I would do the same on this one. And then when I'm done with that, I'll let it dry for a minute or 2. And then I'm going to use Mod Podge over top of it because I do want it kind of shiny. On this one here, it's not all lost. I'm going to put this strip here, sew it on, cut this part off. So I'm only going to have, I'm going to make a pocket inside. So when I put it inside my thing here, it's only going to be this deep, right? This part will be gone. I could make it smaller too, right? And this is going to be Mod Podged as well. Now it takes, it's too much work to move my camera to show how I'm sewing. So I'm going to sew this and I'll be right back. I've sewn around it and I'm going to cut this bottom half off. Oops, come on. I also sewed up here more, about 1/2 inch inward, because I didn't want this white part. So I'm going to cut that off. And same on the other side. I sealed the back of the envelope. Now let's try and put some Mod Podge on, just to give it a very slight sheen to it. Aren't those flowers cute? Oh, I love it. And I've got more on this side, more colors to use. Super happy with that. Make sure I am in frame again. So I'm not going to go on the paint chips. I'm just going to go on here. Yeah, and the white is fine. It's dry. Okay, I'm really happy with that. Let's let that dry. Put the brush in the water. Close this up. And let's do a few flowers on this guy. So this one opens here, but I can do the same thing as I did here and just close everything up. But there's a window on this one, so maybe I'll just leave it as is. Let's do just a long vine. Oops. And I can't go fast on this paint. On this, it's a little too hard on the roller. There. And then you just make a few leaves. It looks more like an S. And then maybe an upside down little flower like here. A couple more leaves. I think I'll work this way down so I don't have my hand over top of it. Maybe a daisy. Maybe a smaller daisy. More leaves. A vein. Let's do some more of these flowers here. There's some bigger ones. They are bigger than here. Let's make 6 petals. Some tiny little leaves in between, just to kind of fill up the gap. And they can point in different directions. Let's add a vine, a leaf out here, and then how about another leaf? Yeah, like that. here. Maybe a flower here. And maybe one here. And then some large leaves at the bottom. There. Oh, I like that. Okay, let's let that dry. Okay, this Mod Podge is already dry on the other one. It is so nice. Oh, I wish you could feel this. I think you should try it out. Get an old envelope or a new one. Put some paint on there and just a little bit of Mod Podge, a really light coating. And it's beautiful. And why not try the paint chip too? Okay, let's try and put the Mod Podge on here too. And I'm sure it'll turn out just fine because this one did. Super happy with that. Not sure exactly where to put it in my journal, but it'll find a place. It won't stay long in my ephemera box. I think it's dry. Yeah. Oof. Super happy with this. So it's good if when you're putting this on paper, even when you're painting, to crosshatch, because it does get into the grain of the paper and it just gives it a better coverage. That's how I paint my fence. I go both ways and then I finish off with just the same way all the way down the fence like this, just a nice clean brush. And it gets all into the fence there. That makes sense. Into the grain of the wood. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So just carefully down the edge. I can't see the brush marks of the Mod Podge on this one at all, so yeah, I guess you don't have to go the same way, or maybe that's why we can't see it. It's because I did it that way. I finished it off with just one stroke one way. Okay, and then we just have the edge here. Push on that. Okay, that is nice. Really nice. Close that up. Let's let that dry. And then I have the cover, which is already dried. I did the other side, so this is the inside, which I did off camera. This is the first side that we did that I showed you at the beginning of the video. And I used a little bit of the Mod Podge just on the edge, and it turned out really good. It gave a little bit of a sheen, and it's nice and soft. Okay, next I picked up this crazy huge 12 by 12, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's even a little bit bigger, just over 12. Scrapbook at Goodwill, or yeah, Goodwill. And it's a scrapbook, but the pages inside are in really great condition. So for $2, I got a lot of 12 by 12 block paper. So what I'm going to do with this is cover the inside of this on each side. I should have put a little bit of brown in here, a little bit of brown paint. Or not. Maybe I'll let it go. So let's cut 2 of these. And I'm going to just glue them in here. Maybe I will do some sewing around. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to grab a couple papers. So I'm going to glue 2 of them together to make it go across the spine here. So I'm just going to put that one down. See if I can move the camera a bit. I'm just evening it up with the edge of my table, which you can't see. Because I tried to move the camera and it didn't work. So there we go. Here is the book cover. And I'm just going to cut a piece out of this. Okay, I measured that out. And I'm going to cut the paper here. See what that looks like inside. Oh yes, this is supposed to come off as well. That's pretty much what I wanted. And then like that. I'm going to try and fold it first so it finds its natural spine. There. Let's grab some better glue. I decided to just go ahead with this glue stick. I think I'm going to be okay with that. Okay, let's try this. I was going to use the Aleene's tacky glue, but I just don't think that would have worked. This paper is not super thick, like it's cardstock, but fold that over, open it up. And then this is where I use my credit card. Yep. So you see here it's coming right almost to the edge, and here it's about 1/4 of an inch off or in, but that's okay. This is a junk journal. Let's do the other side. Just want to do the edge here. This was pretty lumpy and I was losing a lot of glue in the cracks. So I'm just trying this method instead. Going on the back of the cardstock. Then after this, the next step is to sew the cover on. And I guess I could just use this here. Now I could also go around it one more time here, but just go in about another inch or a quarter of an inch, just so I can catch this paper so it doesn't go, because I mean it's glued down, but it's not perfect. So maybe I'll do that now.